Hello, this is Sean Murphy. Today I'm going to do a demonstration of how to set up a multiport DIGI adapter with viewLinc. What you see in front of you is basically a demonstration. You're typically not going to install it this way. This is a bunch of logger brackets connected to DL 2000 series humidity and temperature data loggers. They're all nice little brackets. This is a test demo system, so it's not going to be the type of setup that you're going to actually use. This is a 4-port PoE DIGI. So this will always say TS, MEI. This is the OEM model numbers for it. But this is actually a PoE device. So you'll see the device has a network jack on one side, has a power adapter connector. This typically is not used because most of the time when these things are connected, we're pulling the power from the network switch and not from the line power. But if we decide that, we either don't have access to a PoE switch, or in some cases, there's another model of this that doesn't have PoE, doesn't have the ability to take power from the Ethernet cable. That one here actually would need to have a power supply. It looks virtually the same as this. There's a little bit difference. This one has little perforated holes in the casing. Generates a little bit more internal heat because of the power supply. So it's most likely the reason why they have that. And there's also a series of dip switches that are on the back over here. It's difficult to be able to see in the video here, but I'll pop up a screen that'll show you exactly what the dip switch configurations are for these. But on the back sticker here, you'll see, bring this up a little bit closer, you'll see this little number over here next to the barcode. It says MAC address, and then it says a whole bunch of numbers down here on the bottom. This is actually important information because this little number here will give you the ability to set up an address reservation with your IT department that will be able to configure this device remotely. So basically, I have an IP address reservation for the DHCP server that runs on the corporate network. So basically, I put in a request to have this MAC address here, this 00409D. This is always going to be a mixture of numbers and letters, and the letters only go up to F. It's actually a hexadecimal number. Hexadecimals have a combination of zeros, numbers 0 through 9, plus a few letters at the beginning of the alphabet. So the best way to do this is, when you're deploying a large number of these, is to create a spreadsheet that contains the IP address, the MAC address, and also you're going to want to, keep track of these devices as well when you're doing your spreadsheet. You're going to want to actually capture the serial number for the device as well. So you're going to want to keep the serial number, this 8000 number here, and you're going to want to make sure that you capture the MAC address. So you have those two things on your spreadsheet, and the IP address here would be given to you by the IT department. Basically, when they set up the DHCP tables on their server, they're going to pair this MAC address with an IP address that they assign, and this is what you need to know in order to set up the drivers for the device in viewLinc. The other thing is, you'll notice that the cable connectors on here, they look like network cables, but they're not carrying network traffic. They're carrying RS-232. So this is a unique configuration with DIGI. They use standard RJ45 connectors to connect serial devices to their serial port servers. So basically, with this one here, it's connected to 4 different data loggers, and each one of these data loggers is just on a bracket held together with a 3M dual lock. You'll see on here that the data logger in one of my earlier videos, I pointed out that this is a network adapter used for connecting to the VNet module when it snaps down. But when it connects to a multiport Digi, it's going to use this D9 serial connector. And all this is a adapter. It's a custom adapter that we developed that takes the pins that are on the D9 adapter and maps them to the proper pins on the RJ45 connector for Digi. So this goes directly into here. These two screw together. As you see, I had a little bit of trouble getting on and off. It actually screws in tight so it doesn't fall off. And you will get a flashing blue light. Not every one of the devices will flash blue. Depends on what the age of the data logger device is. But a lot of them have the blue flashing light. It's an indicator that's live and communicating. The way this works is that you're going to have a COM port set up for every device that's on here. So basically, this is going to appear as a device in Device Manager, and then you're going to have COM ports assigned to each one of these ports. So every one of these ports is going to have its own COM port number. When you set up the device, you basically set up this device and it'll give you 3 consecutive COM ports. So if you start at 30, it'll give you 30, 31, 32, 33, and that's the way the software always works. So you can kind of configure, before you even go to install the driver, you kind of can, at the top of your head, know that port 1 is always going to be the lowest COM port number, and the one at the end, the 4th, is always going to be the highest. So each one of these will get a COM port, and that's what you're going to be using to add the device into viewLinc. Because viewLinc sees these devices not by the serial number of the network adapter. It sees the data logger through a COM port that's mapped on the server, and we'll go through that later. Essentially, all 4 of these guys are set up right now, and because this is set up with the DHCP server reservation for the IP address, this device is already set up, so I can actually go and browse onto it, log into it, and configure it. There is a step that you have to do with these devices to get it to work correctly. By default, the unit ships from the factory in a state that it will allow devices to communicate, but it's not the optimum.